Go Stags Go, hashtag Fear the Deer. That is our new slogan, hashtag Fear the Deer. You love to see it. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to episode number 2 of your Saskatchewan Stags, the newest team in the National Hockey League. Now, if you missed episode number 1, go ahead and check that out because there were some big things that happened and we explained a lot about this franchise mode. Now, we decided to let the computer draft our team, which is going to make things more challenging, obviously, but we have a lot of unnecessary cap, i.e. James the Real Deal Neal, our captain, baby. He's making 5.7 for the next 4 years. Our first line center is Valtteri Filppula. Needless to say, we need to work on our team. This is a long project, and we're at least 2 or 3 years away from being competitive. But we do have some bright spots, like my man Taro Sugimoto, who is our first ever free agent signing, and he's going to be a beast. Low franchise. I'm excited to see how he grows by going after the low franchise guy as opposed to the medium and the high franchise guys like Boris Yakupov, and I forget that other guy's name, Gormley, I think. I'll have to look it up afterwards. But here we are. Our team is looking a little weak, not gonna lie to you, but we have some comments and some things to go over. The first thing is we now have an official Twitter at SaskStags. Go ahead and shoot that a follow. We've already got almost 230 followers on there, and I just put it out on my personal Twitter, so people are liking it. And we've announced that we have sent Rivalry to our AHL affiliate, the Regina Renegades. Now, I asked you guys what we should do with Chubby, and usually it's like 80-20. You know, most of you guys agree on it, and then there's a 20% that are like, well, maybe you should do this. Well, it was a complete opposite. It was a 50-50 split. Some of you guys said play him in the NHL, and then some of you guys said play him in the AHL. So what's best for Chubby right now, which I love that nickname, by the way, is we play him in the American Hockey League. He's coming over from the KHL. We want to get him adapted to the North American ice a little bit, and I don't want to rush him. He's technically listed as a depth forward, so he could play on our fourth line. However, I would like for him to rip it up in the AHL just to start things off. If he grows to like 78, 79 overall, hell yeah, I'm going to bring him up. But as of right now, he's hanging out in the American Hockey League. Now, the official Twitter is run by myself and some beautiful people who work for this fantastic organization here in Saskatchewan. But there's other ones like Sportsnet Stags and Boris Yakupov. They all have these accounts and they're fan-made. I'm not making these. There was a lot when we did our Seattle franchise mode, so it's cool to see a lot of fan engagement. I mean, there's one for Boris Yakupov. There's one for that goalie that we drafted, Tamlin. I mean, there's a lot going on, and it's really cool to see you guys do that. So, I mean, I'm totally open to anything. Twitter, fan art, the whole 9 yards. Send it to me, and we can get this thing going. Now, speaking of fan art, we can't go ahead and create our third jersey quite yet, but we have 2 submissions. Now, we have one that's pretty cool. I like the purple a lot. I like the white on the inside of the jersey, but this one really caught my eye. It's a little bit glaring at the start. You're like, whoa, that's a lot of colors. But in the middle, obviously, that is Saskatchewan with some wheat on there, obviously. We're a prairie province, you know, a lot of flat land. But I love this jersey. I think it's super, super cool. So I want to go along something like this for our alternate jersey. Again, send it to me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all that stuff. I might feature it in a video, but these are sick. I really like how this person designed those. I think they're awesome. Now, a couple of comments here before we get into things. I want to get some serious simulation done in this video because I don't think we're going to be a good team this year, so I kind of want to get year 1 out of the way. Obviously, without rushing it, we still have a few things to do, but we got 2 comments here that kind of mean the exact same thing. TCY says, I really hope Agent C makes an appearance in this franchise mode. I'm not saying he's not in the franchise mode, wink wink, but I mean, I'm not going to actively go out and get Cedric Corey. If we do get him, great. I'm not going to actively do it, though. Now, the same thing goes with this guy. He says, you should get another offensive dynamo to play with Sugimoto. Tyroning would be a perfect fit. After all, they both made the team out of camp. Couple of absolute legends. I'm not going to get Tyroning, although obviously I would love to. We need to create new Tyronings. We need to get more legends here. He's in the Hall of Fame already. He's, first ballot. He's up there. He's the GOAT. Scored so many clutch goals for us in Seattle. Actually, when I was recording episode number 1, instead of saying Saskatchewan, I said Seattle a few times. I had to actually edit it out. Those were some great memories, but I think this should be memories for a reason. We need to create some new memories here, create some new legends, so I'm not going to actively go after those 2 players. So shout out to everyone making ego accounts. That's a lot of fun. I love that. I highly encourage it. I think it's awesome. But what I want to do in this video is I want to get our first win. I want to get our first W, and we also have to trade Scott Darling because Scott Darling is taking away the ice in the American Hockey League, and I don't really want him to do that. He's taking ice away from JT, our big giant 6'9" goalie. I don't want Scott Darling to take away from Big Germ, or Big T, as you guys were calling him in the comments, his progression, so we're probably going to have to trade Scott Darling. He is making 4.1 for the next 2 years. However, I think I'm just going to scratch him. Do we have another goalie? Yeah, I can put in Sparks, and we can just go ahead and we can scratch... We can go ahead and scratch Scott Darling. See you later. I'll try to trade him. I have him on the trade block, but JT is going to be backed up by GS. Yeah, he should be getting all the starts. So there you go. All right, enough of me rambling. Let's get some simulation done. Let's try to get our first win here. I want to go until we get our first W. I want to see who scores the game-winning goal, if it's an overtime, if it's whatever. I want it to go down in history. We're 0-1 right now. Let's go ahead and let's see if we can get our first dub against Long Island here. Let's go. Period number 1, and it's 1-0. And Sugimoto gets his first career National Hockey League goal. Scores on Thomas Greiss. Get that puck. There it is. Send that back to Japan for his parents to have. Period number 2. All right. 1-1. Andrew Ladd scores on Yarrow Halak. Here we go. Going into the third. Come on, guys. We need our first win here. Need our first W. Let's just get it out of the way, and then we can get things going. Again, I don't think... There it is! Sugimoto once again! He scores on Thomas Greiss from the top of the left face-off circle. He scored twice from there. Is that going to be enough? 38 shots for New York, but... my man, Jay Beagle, there you go, he scores. But my man, Yaroslav Halak, makes 37 saves. Jay Beagle puts the icing on the cake. And Saskatchewan, you now have your first ever National Hockey League W. Sugimoto with 2 big goals. But what I was trying to say was I don't think we're going to be a very good team this year. I mean, I can't see us being a good team. If we are, great, but I really can't see us being a quality team at all. Yeah, there you go. We just got spanked 7-1. Yeah, not great. Not great at all. Our AHL team is 5-0. Look at that. And we just got our second win there against the Carolina Hurricanes. Another win. There you go. The boys are absolutely rolling. I do have a couple games marked on the calendar. The next one being the St. Louis Blues on November 1st, which we're definitely going to slow sim. Our records are exactly reversed. They're 5-3-1, and we are 3-5-1. Obviously, that was the team that took away our expansion back in the day, but look at Sugimoto, the rookie from Japan. You love to see it. 10 points in his first 9 games. Obviously, everyone is a minus player. Oh, actually, Thomas Noshek on the third line. What up, buddy? +3. I don't really expect us to put up any serious numbers. How's Chubbs doing? He has... where is he? Has not scored yet, but he's got 5 assists in his first 9 games. He's got 25 shots, though, so he's definitely shooting the puck. Just needs to find the back of the twine. Sugimoto, James Neal, Valtteri Filppula. So, I mean, our first line is doing pretty good. How about our attendees? Just through the first 9 or 10 games here, I kind of want to see. James Reimer is 1-0, so that's good. And Yarrow Halak is 2-5-1. So let's go here up against the St. Louis Blues, who are absolutely our rival, no question. Let's go. Let's see if we can beat these guys. They took away our expansion in 1967. The province of Saskatchewan was crushed. We almost had a team, the Saskatoon Blues. 40-something years later, here we are, St. Louis versus Saskatchewan, 1-1. Sugimoto again. He loves to score from the face-off dots. And then, obviously, Vladimir Tarasenko scores 1 on Yarrow Halak. Second period, 2-1. Tyler Pitlick, there you go. And, 4-1. Thank you very much. Ben Lovejoy from center ice and Matthew Perreault as well. Take that, St. Louis. Louis. I mean, we're going to be playing St. Louis a decent amount, so what I want you guys to do, whether it's one person or whether it's 100 people, I want you to keep track of how many games we play and our all-time record against the St. Louis Blues. So it looks like we play them, obviously, one time here, which we got the W, which is always nice. We don't play them for another month. We play them January 9th, so that's the second time. And not that many times, actually, for a team in our own division. That's 3 times against the Blues, and that's it. So we only played them 3 times this year, unless I missed one. I don't think I did. So only 3 times. So I want you guys to obviously keep a track, because that's going to be something we're going to have to look at the entire year. Obviously, we'll make more rivals as time goes on. I mean, there's going to be a few rivals, like obviously Chicago, because they got, I forget their name already. I created the players. I should know. Hulkenberg and Seidenberg. That's right. They got both of the Bergs. That's going to be kind of fun to have Chubbs versus the Hulkinator, or whatever his stupid name is. Hulkenberg. There's 2 back-to-back wins, 6, 7, and 2. Again, I don't think we're going to be competitive. We're probably going to be bottom 10 in the league, which is fine because I know next year's draft is absolutely stacked. But I didn't make it just 1 or 2 or 3 picks. I made like the first 10, like really, really good. So that's going to be 10 unreal prospects coming into the NHL. So let's go here. Hulkenberg and Seidenberg up against the Saskatchewan Stags. It's kind of crazy how the Hawks got them both. And they're on entry-level deals, and they're both really good. Chicago should be really elite. I don't know why they're struggling. Period number 1, 0-0. Period number 2... All right, 1-0. Boone Jenner on Corey Crawford, and that's a shutout, baby. Yaroslav Halak putting up a donut against the Chicago Blackhawks. Where are you at, Hulkenberg? Where are you at, buddy? So after this Anaheim game, this will be 25 games into the regular season, so a quarter done. I want to go ahead and have a look at how some guys are doing. I want to see the update on Chubbs. I want to see Hulkenberg, Seidenberg, Yakupov, all of those guys that we created, obviously, and the goalie, which went to Florida, I believe. That's right, and they actually beat us earlier in the year. They beat us on the 15th. So I think his name is Ed McPherson, if I remember correctly. Obviously, these guys will become household names as we get going, but we are struggling, which I expected, but Sugimoto with 21 points in 26 games. We are bottom of the NHL, 21 points. Sugimoto now is up to an 82 overall. He was an 81, minus 13. A lot of minuses on our squad, again, which we expected. Alex Killorn, there he is, 15 points. James Neal with 8 goals. What a sniper. Valtteri Filppula, the 34-year-old first-line center. I mean, this is going to kind of sound bad, but there's no one else I really care about on this team. Obviously, Christian Juice and Mirko Mueller, I mean, they're kind of a bright spot, but I mean, this team is going to be all changed in a couple of years. Like, you won't see Valtteri Filppula and Nick Bonino on this team for that much longer. So I'm not going to get attached to many of these players, which I think is a smart thing. Yaroslav Halak, 8-14, and then James Reimer still 1-0-2. So I guess he got pulled in the 1 extra game. So lost twice in overtime. Still has, I guess, a respectable save percentage. I mean, it's not great, but I want to have a look at the rookies around the NHL, especially some of the guys that we created. Nashville, are you playing Yakupov in the NHL? You're not. Okay. Eli Tuivinen and Dante Fabro, both members of the Seattle Storm Bears back in the day. Let's go all NHL and let's see how all these created players are doing. Obviously, there's going to be, there he is, Pettersson. I was just about to say, obviously, Pettersson's probably going to be top of the list. Hulkenberg's got 23 points in 26 games, and Brady Tkachuk's got 23. Not Trevor Tkachuk, however, not the better Tkachuk. Sugimoto is 4th in rookie scoring, tied for 4th with Andreas Johnsson, who is now a member of Colorado. Casey Middlestat, Colin White. So I don't think there's anyone else. Quinn Hughes, how are you doing, bud? Oscar Gormley, he was another guy who's created 9 points in 26 games. He's medium franchise. And I think that's it. Obviously, Cale Makar is looking good down there. And there's no one else that we created. So there's a few players that that are just chilling in the American Hockey League. Through the first 26 games, how's everyone doing? Now, you're obviously seeing a bunch of higher point totals because obviously I boosted up the sliders. So Kucherov, Stamkos just killing it there. Patrick Kane with 32. A lot of players over a point per game. Anyone I'm surprised to see? Ilya Kovalchuk, 27 points is kind of surprising. Evgeny Malkin, Connor McDavid down there, Phil Kessel, Brock Besser, absolutely love to see it. Looks like there's been no trades around the NHL as of yet. As of just saying, hey, this is my birthday, December 5th. There you go. I stopped on my birthday. I didn't even realize that. But we're still bottom of the barrel. One thing I want to do is check on Chubby, see how he's doing. Best nickname in hockey, no question. So he's now a 77, so he's progressing nicely. He's got 12 goals and 9 helpers, 21 points in 26 games. So it took him a little while to get going, but I think he's going to be so damn good for us. So we have Chubbs, we have Sugimoto, and we have Tamlin. Like, we kind of have it all together. We really need a stud defenseman, though, because obviously we're going to have 2 really good forwards, and now we need that stud defenseman. So I guess we can actually look at the draft here just to kind of see. So say we get a bottom 5 pick, which is very possible. We're not going to have this luxury of looking at our scout in the future, so I guess let's take advantage of it right now. So guys like Jack Hughes, who are just tearing it up right now, absolutely unreal. 42 points in 23 games. How are ya? Tsushimoto Hiroyuki, which would be kind of cool to get another Japanese player to play alongside of Sugimoto. We could have Sugimoto and Hiroyuki. Yeah, I don't know where he's playing. He's a creative player, so I don't know where he's playing. Rest of the world? I mean, whatever that means. Capo Caco wouldn't be that bad. Now, Bobby Lemieux, he's a guy who I'm very interested in. I know I made this guy sick. I made him really, really, really good. So I would love to go ahead and get this guy. If we have a top 5 pick, that might be the guy I go after. So obviously it's going to be Hughes, number 1, Hiroyuki, maybe number 2. I mean, Bobby Lemieux as a big offensive defenseman, he could be the big piece that we need on the back end. Now, I made this guy a monster, Sasha Kilzakin. He's 6'6", 220 from Russia, playing over in Russia. Obviously, you can see the strength of competition is A+, so he's killing it over there. He's going to be nasty. Vinny Zapp. Thought that was just kind of a cool name. I made him a two-way forward or a playmaker. Thomas Vinquist was another guy that I ended up making. He's got similar style to Nicholas Backstrom, which is cool. Cole Caulfield, obviously the sniper from the U.S. developmental program. I think that's it. Did I create any goalies for this draft? I created players for the first 3 or 4 drafts, so there's going to be a lot of really good prospects out there. I mean, obviously, I want the number 1 or number 2 overall pick with Jack Hughes or Hiroyuki. So what do you guys think? If we get a top 3 pick, I don't think picking Lemieux is the right answer. I think if we get 4 or 5, Bobby Lemieux is probably the right option. But I mean, getting Hiroyuki and having Sugimoto on the same line, that'd be pretty cool. I think I'd really, really like that. Winning the game after my birthday, that's 3 in a row. And of course, we lose against the New York Rangers, but another win. Okay, we're on fire here. We're actually doing pretty good. 14, 16, and 3, a 2-0 shutout win there against the Islanders, which we got our first ever victory against. I actually forgot to check out how Tamlin's doing down in the AHL, but I mean, we're just really not quite there yet. 7-0 loss. I mean, to a bad team. Montreal's not a good team. So let's go up here against the St. Louis Blues one more time. We're going to probably go a month or 2 more. I'm probably going to have to trade Scott Darling right now. I'm kind of surprised I haven't got any more trade offers, but 29-9-2 for the Regina Renegades, led by Chubbs and JT between the pipes. Giant Tamlin, Big T, whatever you want to call him. Let's go up against the Blues. We are 1-0, and we're in St. Louis, and we score on our first shot. Alex Killorn, the killer. There you go. The first period ends, and Killer has the only goal. Period number 2. All right. I'm not going to jinx it. Oh my God, I definitely jinxed it by even putting it out there. And O'Reilly, Parayko, Tarasenko, and Steen, they were like, what is that? What did you say? They have a giant 4-goal period and make me look a little bit stupid. I'm really excited for the drafts, though. I think you guys are really going to like what we did. It's not like anything I've really done before. I think the last time that I created players for the draft, I made like 2 or 3 really good guys, and then the rest were all randomly generated. But this time I went all out. Like, I got guys in the 4th year, I think, or at least the 3rd year of the draft. So there's going to be a lot of really good players in the NHL come year 5 and year 6. That's when it's really going to get exciting. Up against the Panthers, 27-18-2, and we are 16-27-4. Quite a few losses over the past month and a little bit. We're probably going to go one more month of simulation. I don't want to make this video too long, but first period against Ed McPherson and the Florida Panthers, and it's 2-1. Sugimoto, there you go. Trocheck and Ekblad, period number 2. Oh, 3-2. Okay, James the Real Deal Neal, our captain, and Colton Sevier scores on Yarrow Halak. Can we come back? Nope, we fall apart. Dadonov and Sevier gets his 2nd of the night, and we drop a game against Ed McPherson and the Florida Panthers. So you know what? Let's go all the way up to the trade deadline, I guess. Yeah, why not? You know what? This is episode number 2. I don't want to make it too short. I think we should go all out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to update our trading block. I don't really actively want to move anyone, but some guys I know that we're not going to want to have on our team next year. You know, guys like that have 1 year left on expiring deals. I mean, I don't think they have a ton of trade value, but guys like, you know, Justin Braun and Valtteri Filppula, maybe even Yarrow Halak. I mean, he has a decent amount of trade value, and JT might be ready for next year. Oh, man, he's a stud down in the minors. 24, 11, and 2. He's got 5 shutouts. Look at his goals against. Oh, my God, this guy's going to be a stud for us. 9.29 save percentage. He's going to be a beast. So you know what? I think we can part ways with Yarrow Halak eventually. I'm not saying I want to do it right now, but I'm going to max out our trade block. We're going to see what kind of offers we can get, and then we are going to get this thing going. The main thing I want is draft picks, obviously. I know how stacked the drafts are, and I think it'd be really smart to get some draft picks, especially for this year, because we have that pick from Nashville, I believe. So let's actually see how Nashville is doing in the standings. Obviously, I assume they're pretty good. Actually, they're not. They have 43 points. So, oh my God, could you imagine if that Nashville pick becomes a lottery pick? This happened in Seattle. I think it was, you guys got to remind me, but I think it was LA gave us a first for like a super crappy player. Maybe we had to pay a little bit. It was like a first. I forget who the player was, but it was some guy who was making a ton of money that we really didn't care about, and we ended up getting that first, which I think turned out to be Big Mac. I could be wrong, but right away we get a trade offer, Mirko Mueller for a 3rd and Jason Megna. I just kind of want to see what's out there. We're going to get trade offers like crazy here. Getting Killorn off the books is nice, but, I mean, I don't need Thomas Greiss. So if any of these trades really won't catch your guys' eye and you think, oh, yeah, you got to make that move, we'll come back to it. I'm not going to make a trade in this episode unless it's like a can't miss, kind of deal. But it looks like they are extremely active on getting rid of Thomas Greiss. If there's a trade, though, that you guys think I should definitely make, we'll come back to it. Boom, we beat Nashville. There you go. That's making our pick even that much better. Back-to-back wins. Yarrow Halak for Marcus Johansson, who's making 5.1 for the next 5 years. Absolutely not, my friends. No way. So we're going to go up to maybe a week before the trade deadline, or maybe we'll go up right to the trade deadline, because then you guys can kind of get a feel for all of the players here. Kyle Palmieri is not bad. Kyle Palmieri is pretty damn good, actually, for Yarrow Halak. I mean, we've got to pay some picks, but Kyle Palmieri is pretty damn good. I'm probably not going to pull the trigger on any moves, but Kyle Palmieri is pretty damn good. And Yarrow Halak, I mean, I don't even know if we're going to bring him back next year, so that might not be a bad thing. Kyle Palmieri is definitely the best player that we have been offered thus far. Christian Juice for a 3rd. No, thank you. I still got some high hopes for these young guys. I mean, I don't think they're going to be, top 2 guys or anything, but see, this is a trade that I like. Nick Bonino for a third. Although Nick Bonino really doesn't make a whole lot of money, and he's actually pretty good for what he is. We can get a third, and how the hell do you pronounce that name? I can't accept this trade. I can't pronounce that guy's name. This trade would kind of make more sense if Bonino was making like $4 million, but he's not. He's good for what he is, and I don't really need to trade Nick Bonino. Okay, here we go. So Justin Falk and Jordan Stahl for Nashville's first and the second and Halak. I'm going to go ahead and say no to that. Danny Hamhuis is on waivers, so we got ourselves a trade. I don't need Hammer. I'm going to say no, but what I want to do is also say no to this. Now, if you guys are wondering why we're getting so many trade offers, it's because I maxed out my trade block. If you put your wants the exact same as your needs, you'll get a ton of trade offers. So what was the move that happened? Oh my God, we got a couple. Dallas acquired Clayton Keller for a first, Jacob Robertson, and another prospect. Wow. That's a big move. So Dallas gets Clayton Keller, Miro Heiskanen, Tyler Seguin, Jamie Benn. Oh my God. Tampa gets Michael Neuwirth and some picks for Connor Ingram and Adam Ernie. Nashville gets Pominville for 2 picks. So Nashville, you're just giving away all of the picks, even though you guys suck this year. Interesting. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Man, Nashville is bad. That's insane. Nashville is bad. When I made that trade, I thought that Nashville was going to be good, so I had no expectations for that pick. I thought it was going to be, like a 20 to 30 pick. I think I even said that in the video. I didn't think it was going to be that high of a pick, but potentially we could have ourselves, maybe even 2 lottery picks. Maybe. We'll see. If you decide to max out your trade value, the simulation will be very, very slow. Bodker, Anders Nielsen, no thank you. These are all just like super small trades. I want a blockbuster. I want a big one. Oscar Sundqvist, nope, not happening. Give me a blockbuster here. Give me something. Johan Franzen, you're still in the game? What? Okay, I mean, I guess he's technically still under contract, but no thank you. I mean, we don't really need a blockbuster right now, but Nick Bonino for Jesper Fast, that's not a bad trade. I mean, when you think about it, it's not that bad. So, again, if any of these catch your eye, let me know. Adam Larson for 2 seconds and Matt Calvert. Not a bad deal. Let me know on that one. Big 4-1 win against Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. I don't want Thomas Greiss. Okay, so Jesper Fast has now been traded. He was on the Rangers, now he's on the Islanders, and now the Islanders are trying to trade him to me. So, poor Jesper Fast, all over the map. We will check the trades, obviously. Adam Larson, God, the New York Islanders are just peppering me with trades. I don't think there's a really big need for us to make a trade. We don't really need to do anything until the draft, to be honest with you. But I think it was good to get kind of a sense of what's out there. And oh my God, Nashville is bad. They have 56 points. They're bad. This could be a lottery pick, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. This is going to be exciting. This is going to be very exciting. Let's have a look at Chubbs as well. I want to have a look at some things before we get going. Just kind of interested to see how bad Nashville actually is. Tampa Bay, miles ahead of everyone else. Toronto, San Jose, Pittsburgh, Anaheim. Hello. Okay. So, I mean, as of right now, we could have 2 and 3 if the draft lottery goes accordingly, which it never does. Could you imagine if we get 2 and 3? We could potentially get like Hiroyuki and Bobby Lemieux. Oh boy. Oh boy. Nashville, I think you're regretting that trade just a little bit. Just a little bit. Sugimoto has 27 goals. He's now an 83 overall, so he's progressing nicely on a bad team. Matthew Perreault with 30 points. Okay. All right. Killer with 29. Bonino, Filppula, Jay Beagle. Oscar Sundqvist with 25. That's not terrible. James Neal, 24 points on the first line. I mean, it wouldn't be bad to get, a player for Sugimoto to play with right now, because he's kind of playing with a bunch of bums, Filppula and James Neal, so wouldn't be a bad idea, but I'm not going to pressure myself to make a big move. There's really no need to. As for goalies, Jaro Halak and James Reimer, I think it makes the most sense for us to trade Jaro Halak, because I think Big T, oh yeah, baby, he's going to be so good. 33 wins already. He's got 17 losses on the year, 3 in overtime, 6 shutouts. Look at his goals against and his save percentage. I think we can afford to get rid of a guy like Yaroslav Halak. I mean, what do you guys think? And Garrett Sparks, 9-1, stud. Now, how's Chubbs doing? If he's like 80 overall, maybe we'll bring him up. Ooh, he's 79. I don't know. Is it worth it for us to bring him up for the last, 20 games of the regular season? He's having a great year, a fantastic year, actually. 57 points in 62 games. He's definitely going to be ready for the NHL next year. A part of me wants to keep him, but a part of me wants to have him in the big show. But this team could go on a pretty good Calder Cup run, so maybe we'll keep him down. It's been a pretty active trade deadline so far. Montreal gets Carl Soderberg from Colorado for a second and Dale Weiss, Canucks legend. Pittsburgh gets Mike Green in a fifth for a first. Wow. Okay, couple of picks being dealt here. There was that Jesper Fast trade. Okay. Ooh, Colorado gets Kevin Shattenkirk and a third. I believe Colorado originally drafted Kevin Shattenkirk. I could be wrong. Dylan Sakura and Dominic Cahoon go to the Vegas Golden Knights in exchange for Eric Howla, a third, and a couple other assets. And Arizona gets that giant contract of Kyle Okposo. Unbelievable. All right, well, interesting to say the least. One last thing we're going to do is have a look at the draft class. I think this is going to be a special draft for us. This could be absolutely massive. So look at that. Hiroyuki moves from number 2 to number 1. All right, so he was number 2 behind Jack Hughes, but Hiroyuki looking like the consensus number 1 here. Our scouts have Jack Hughes still at 1. Central Scouting has Hiroyuki at 1 and Hughes at number 2. Jack Hughes still just having an absolutely monstrous year, just tearing it up, 72 and 45. Capo Caco, we obviously know he's not going to put up a ton of points, but I did boost him up a little bit. He's quite a bit better than what he originally was. Bobby Lemieux, I know he's a stud. I know he's going to be so good. Kilzakin over there in the K. Vinny Zapp, there you go. Vinquist, yeah. No one putting up crazy numbers. Cole Caulfield doing pretty good. No one else putting up like stupid numbers like Jack Hughes. That guy is just killing it. So one last thing we're going to do is we're going to check the leading scorers in the entire league just to see if my sliders are actually working. And then in the next video, we'll probably get the entire year done and possibly the draft. I'm really anxious though to see how this draft is going to play out. We could potentially have 2 lottery picks, and that would just be sick. So lots of players over a point per game, which is what I expected. I expected a little bit more scoring, but I mean, it obviously will get crazier as the years progress, as there's more talent in the NHL. How about these rookies, especially the guys in Chicago? EP40 still doing his thing. He's a monster. Hulkenberg with 47, Andreas Janssen, Brady Tkachuk. Sugimoto, I guess, is kind of in the Calder race. He's 10 points behind EP. He's got 27 goals, tied for first behind Hulkenberg. Where is that other guy from Chicago? Are they not playing side? Oh, there he is. Finn Seidenberg. He's got 221 shots and only 10 goals. So he's shooting the puck. He's just getting no luck. This could be an interesting year because either Carter Hart or Jordan Binnington could win the Calder. They're both doing really, really well. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will feature some of your guys' thoughts in the next video. We're probably going to go all the way up to the draft. If you think we should make a trade right now, let me know. I'm kind of leading towards getting rid of Jaro Halak and kind of rolling with James Reimer. And if we want to get a piece for Sugimoto to play with, maybe like a first-line center. I'm thinking like a guy like, just off the top of my head, like someone with a bad contract that's still pretty good, like, I don't know, Jeff Carter or something. Let's quickly see what he's looking like, just to kind of see, because it wouldn't be a bad idea for us to give someone for Sugimoto to play with for next year. I know he's on a terrible contract, and I think we can get him for pretty cheap. Yeah, 5.2 for what, 2 years? 3 more years? 3 years, yeah, that's a lot. Maybe not. You guys kind of know what I'm going for, though, right? So there it is. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in episode number 3.